Hello, my name's Alex Lawson. I'm a personal trainer and group fitness trainer in London. I work primarily in Chelsea and Kensington and also in Islington. I've been teaching now for 22 years within the sport. I started off with kickboxing initially, and that's ultimately where I became a high-level amateur and professional athlete. June 2015, I stopped driving into London. I was using the car to get around from West London into Central London. Every week I'd pick up a parking ticket or some form of road violation ticket. I was spending God knows how much in parking bays. And then I took to road cycling. I thought I'll give this a go. It's great for fitness as well, but it's not great for your chances of living a long, healthy life, not on London roads anyway. Within the year and a half, I had 3 near-death experiences. 1 through careless riding on my own behalf, and 2 through no fault of my own. My wife did the research and found a scooter. Can I mention, I initially used the kids like an adult micro scooter. And then, of course, on my birthday, July 2015, I woke up, unwrapped this box, and that was it. As usual, my wife had done diligent research and come out with what's been ultimately a major addition to my professional working style now. Bright and early wake up. I actually live down on the south coast now, so I still commute all the way up to London. Scoot to the local station, Hove or Brighton, depending on how the trains are working, and then I will board the train. It folds up just like the Brompton, very tidy. Come off at Victoria and generally scoot from Victoria either to the Chelsea or Kensington location. I teach out of 3 or 4 gyms within the central London area, and I also teach personal training in the parks or at people's home locations. So I will zip around from place to place. Now with the bike, that's one thing which was okay because you could use the bike to get around. Problem number 1 was that you had to use the roads. You cannot go on the pavement, which of course you can with the Swifty. Problem number 2 is you have to find an appropriate place to park your bike, lock it up. With the Swifty, fold it up, take it into my client's house, piece of cake. As far as the fitness benefits are concerned, I mean, if you compare it with 2 other basic modes of rapid transport, you'd be looking at running and you'd be looking at cycling, I suppose. I feel scooting offers a lot more. Still, there are other places to get a full holistic training program in. You would need to work through different planes of motion as well. But certainly scooting will offer more. For me, I think if you have a good mobilization phase and a bit of a cool down and stretch after scooting, especially if it's more than just 500 meters, that's something that can have a lot of benefits for the whole of the lower body. So it's more of a compound workload for the lower body as opposed to just targeting a couple of muscle groups. Obviously, looking at the main power driving muscles within the body, so you're looking at the quads on the front of the leg, the hamstrings, that posterior chain is engaged a lot more throughout scooting than it would be through cycling. With cycling, you generally don't get to lengthen the leg completely, especially if you're in the clips. With scooting, you can obviously drive forward. You're working all the way through that sagittal plane, driving the leg forward and backwards. The hip flexors get the chance to be liberated at a certain point. With cycling, you generally keep the knee in front of you. With the hip flexors now, we get the chance to fully open them by dragging and scooting back. It puts a different workload on the glutes as well. So you still get glutes and quads, which is great, but now I feel we get a little bit more range of motion through the hamstrings, the calf, the upper calf, the gastrix, and the soleus at the lower base of the back of the calf. Certainly get a higher workload as well. Key factor is trying to make sure they're used to doing it on both legs. Most of us have either left or right footed and we have a dominant leg. That's fine, I get that. For me, it took about a week before I started to distribute it more evenly. I still have a slight bias for my left leg to drive, but it's about 60 to 40%. That's manageable for me, but you certainly don't want to be 90% on one and 10% on the other. And to a certain extent, most people will spend a lot of time hunched over computers or hunched over a cooker or whatever it is. We spend a lot of time in the flex position, so you do have that added bonus of being nice and upright with the shoulders back. Certainly, starting off, I would encourage you to mobilize the major joints that are going to be activated. You start off with the ankles, bit of ankle rolling and flexing and extending, a little bit of knee bending and a little bit of light squats, midway squats. Also give the elbows a bit of a roll out, especially if you're scooting first thing in the morning. You probably haven't activated the arms, and get the wrists rolling up and down. When I start in the morning, I'm not going to, unless I'm super late, I'm not going to go explosive as fast as I can. I'll take a minute or two just to get the muscles used to the activity, and then once the first hill gets there, then yeah, I'm a little more prepared. But yeah, 2 to 3 minutes is normally enough, and then once you feel that, once you can feel the heart and lungs catching up a bit, it normally takes about 7 to 10 minutes to get a cardiovascular system really fired up. But 2 to 3 minutes, I would say, before you really start to drop into third and fourth gear. Well, I have the SwiftyONE Marine. It's the top end, top range one. Thank you, Swifty, for helping me attain that. It has been probably the present I've most enjoyed receiving over the last 5 to 10 years. Once again, I mentioned my wife. She researched it and brought it in for me. So I was really pleased to open it up this Christmas. I've already hit many, many miles on it. It's beautiful. It runs so beautifully. I know there's been a lot of expertise put into the new dynamics, the way that the wheels flow, the way that the tires move. It's lighter as well, so it's easy when I do have to carry it on and off public transport. Wow, how many miles have I done on the Swifty? Well, it's got to be a minimum of 1,000. I was working it for about a year and a half, 5 days a week, where I was doing anywhere between 5 and 10K a day. Sometimes just to the local shops with a rucksack on, take a K there. But I reckon I'm over 1,000 comfortably, and I'm moving in quickly for my second 1,000, and I hope to get that by 2019, no doubt.